Live from the Washington, D.C. area, it's the Inside Scoop, Emerald Planet. All the ecology news that our viewers want to know. Now, here's your host, Executive Director of the Emerald Planet, Dr. Sam Lee Hancock.
Hello and welcome to the Emerald Planet as we come to you from Washington, D.C. and the United States as we look around the globe in 144 different nations, looking for those 1,000 best practices, the technologies, services, and products that are going to be used as we move through the 21st century. And as we look at a planet that's adding 2 billion new people by 2050, how we're going to be able to provide the food, the fuel, the fiber to be able to handle that. And when we'll have a planet with some 9 billion people, and then by the end of the century, maybe as many as 12 to 13 billion people. And so I have a young man sitting with me in the studio that's actually working on this issue and has been on Emerald Planet before. And this is, let me get my notes here. This is Dr. Daman S.Walia, who is the President CEO of ARCTECH, Inc. That's in Washington, D.C. But the gentleman that we're bringing in from Skype, from Cairo, Egypt, this is Sedat Susmali. He's the president of Hatko Energy, and also he's doing consulting work with ARCTECH, and this is called MicGAS Coal Biotechnology Demonstration Project for the Turkish coal enterprises, so of Ankara, Turkey. So anyway, Sedat Bey, welcome to the Emerald Planet TV.
Hi, how are you?
We're glad to have you, and we've heard many good things about your work in Turkey, and so thank you for being able to come on this early in the morning and share with us. But tell us a little bit about both your Hatko Energy, your own company, and then also about this MicGAS Coal Biotechnology Demonstration Project there in Turkey.
Okay. Our project aim is the application and demonstration of biotechnology on coal, especially low calorific value of coal in Turkey. This is very important for us. There's a problem about approximately more than 20 billion tons of coal reserve in Turkey, because more than half of this reserve is low calorific value of coal for energy production, which is lower than 2,000 calories. We need to increase the value of this coal. So we start the project. Okay.
Well, looking at the work, I know that you're working with the what is it called, the Turkish coal enterprises there in Ankara. Tell us about that, because coal is looked upon as being a 19th and 20th century energy source. But now with Damon's work in Washington, D.C. and working with you there in Turkey, this is actually morphing into something that's very new and high tech. So why the emphasis on coal?
I want to summarize. After some contact with ARCTECH company and tests in their laboratory in the United States, we saw that ARCTECH MicGAS coal biotechnology, we could solve this problem of how to change the low value of coal into higher economic values in industry products. And then we informed this to Turkish coal enterprise. After that, the general manager of TKI, Turkish Coal Enterprise, firstly with the ARCTECH, the Turkish Coal Enterprise general manager visited the ARCTECH laboratories in Washington, D.C. Then he presented this wonderful project to the Minister of Energy in Turkey. Mr. Taner Yıldız, our minister, who is the Minister of Energy, invited ARCTECH company, Dr. S.Walia, to Turkey for 5 years ago, approximately 2009. The first aim of this project was to increase the economic value of low calorific value of coal into higher values of biogas, methane for energy production. But we saw that with this MicGAS biotechnology, not only just methane is producing, but also some agricultural fertilizers and other industrial products, byproducts, successfully produced. So we continue. Okay.
Looking at this demonstration project with the Turkish coal enterprises, what is the need in Turkey for not only new energy sources, but really to boost the productivity of the agricultural lands and also the nutritional value of the crops, the fruits and vegetables that are being grown in Turkey?
Okay. According to our experiments and applications of this MicGAS biotechnology of this Turkish coal, we saw that 6 different products we could produce with the application of this project. The first one is production of biogas, as I mentioned, the methane gas. From, for example, 1 ton of coal, we produce 60 meters cube of methane, which is then used for energy project or production of energy. The second one is organic fertilizer or humic acid products of aerosol for agriculture, and we produce approximately 800 gallons of it from 1 ton of coal itself. And we also need to increase the organic content of soil in our country. The best way to increase this organic value is adding humic acid to agricultural land. Our estimation is that we need at least 150 million gallons of humic acid products of aerosol for Turkish agricultural land. The third one, the third product was liquid adsorbent that's called humus, which could catch the carbon dioxide or some toxic materials from water. We produce approximately 430 liters from 1 ton of coal itself also at the same time. The fourth one is also humus CS, calcified or granulated adsorbent material, which is also catching heavy toxic materials from water. We also produce more than 94 kilograms of humus CS from 1 ton of coal at the same time. The fifth one is actodemyl. Actodemyl that could easily destroy all the explosive materials into fertilizer. We also produce 340 kilograms from 1 ton of coal. The last one is the actodetox product that is also very useful for poultry, chicken farms, that kills all the pathogens and destroys bad smells of manure. For all 6 products, we could produce from 1 ton of coal at the same time. So we start some application tests in Turkey.
I tell you, I think it's absolutely incredible the number of different products that you're able to take out of coal. And again, as I was saying earlier, many people are saying we just need to abandon coal altogether or greatly diminish its use. But I think with what you're doing with ARCTECH in Washington, D.C., and with the innovative project that you have there in Ankara, Turkey, that you're actually showing the world that coal really actually has a very bright future and can be used for many useful products, and at the same time address climate change and environmental quality. And I think that's actually what you were just saying. Dr. Walia, would you like to ask the next question?
Well, yeah, Sedat Bey, good morning. I again very much appreciate your being up at almost 1:30 a.m.
Good morning, Daman. How are you?
Good. Yeah, Sandy, I'll, please tell the audience as to what kind of tests we have done with these products in Turkey and what kind of results which these products are showing. So just give us a little understanding on that.
Could you please explain it again? I couldn't hear you.
Just give us a little bit, briefing on as to what kind of tests have you done with these products in Turkey, for example, by the TAGM and some of the other institutions, and what kind of results these products have produced.
Dr. Walia, as you know, this big project was not only followed by Ministry of Energy, but also we worked and shared the test results with the laboratories of Ministry of Agriculture, as the name is TAGEM in Turkey, Ministry of Defense, and Ministry of Health laboratories. And also we followed all the details, and we shared the information and test results with the TÜBİTAK, which is the Turkish Science Research Institute. And we used and we shared the same information with some biochemistry and agricultural departments of universities in different universities in Turkey. All of these institutes and universities and the ministries, laboratories help us for this big project. Dr. Walia.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and let Dr. Walia ask the next question, and then I'll finish up. We're just about running out of time.
Well, yeah, just to kind of give your perspective, Sedat Bey, as to what do you see happening in the next 5 years, 10 years, or 15 years? Where do you think this technology can help meet the needs in the Turkey?
Okay, Dr. Walia, as you know, I hope this MicGAS called Biotechnology project is very wonderful and big project, and will be demonstrated in a whole Middle East countries and the sub-Turkish republics for following 5 or 10 years or more. And also we have some target of 2023, which is the century anniversary of Turkish Republic announcement. We could reach to apply at least millions of gallons of aerosol product for full agricultural lands of Turkey before, I hope, before 2023.
Well, that's really a very ambitious schedule, and we have about just about 30 seconds left. What do you really see for the future of your work, of your organization, and also with the this cooperative demonstration project with the Turkish coal enterprises?
As I mentioned before, Turkish enterprise is very, very positive about the project. We successfully complete all the feasibility reports from 3 sides. Turkish coal enterprise did it itself, and the other company did itself. It yields good, very peaceful, very hopeful results for Turkey future. So we want to continue with this big project. We want to continue with Dr. Walia.
Okay, well, thank you. We're going to lose you right now as we create the Emerald Planet.
There's more than just books at the library.
There's more than just books at the library.
Excuse me. There's more than just books at the library.
Il y a plus que de livres à la bibliothèque.
A lot of great books here today. You know, there's more than just books at the library.
I know.
There's more than just books at the library.
I don't want to be hooked to a machine.
I want all the medical treatment available to me.
I wouldn't want my family to have to make this decision.
My doctor knows what's best for me.
An advance directive is your life on your terms. Talk with your family. Decide what's right for you. Then put it in writing.
Documenting my wishes today means my family won't have to make heart-wrenching decisions later.
To learn more, visit www.putitinwriting.org.
1,200 American youth run away from their homes every day. The National Runaway Switchboard is here to help. 1-800-RUNAWAY. If you are a runaway, thinking about running away from home, or a parent or guardian concerned about issues facing your child, call us 24 hours a day. 1-800-RUNAWAY. In times of crisis, hope is just a phone call away. 1-800.
We're back to the Inside Scoop Emerald Planet. Here again, your host, Dr. Sam.
Hello and welcome. I'm Dr. Sam Hancock of Emerald Planet, and we're coming to you from Washington, D.C. in the United States as we're looking for those 1,000 best practices, the technologies, the services, and the products that are making a difference as we move through the 21st century. In doing this, we're looking at a population that's going to 9 billion souls on the planet by 2050, and how we're going to be able to provide the food, the fuel, the fiber, and then the basic infrastructure needed by all these new people. And those are remaining as the lifespans continue to extend and the world goes to more urbanization. We have actually 3 gentlemen that we're going to be talking to. Right beside me is Dr. Daman, S.Walia. He is the president and CEO of ARCTECH, Inc. in Washington, D.C., and then joining us, we have one coming in by Skype, which is Gary Love, the CEO of Verso in Brisbane, Australia, one of my favorite cities and favorite countries on the planet. And then Thomas Matthews, who's the president of the Gasification Technology Reliance Industries out of Mumbai, India. And so we have some really dynamic people. Gary, welcome.
Thanks, Sam. Nice to be with you.
Glad to have you. Tell us a little bit about Verso and what it is you're doing and the innovation and collaboration that you're working through your own organization there in Brisbane, Australia.
Sure. So we were established in 2010 and we've always really been driven by the stranded coal story. And like the US, Australia is blessed with abundant coal resources, but most of them are actually stranded. I think the US Department of Energy estimates that around 90% of the world's fossil energy is in stranded coal. So it does represent a really substantial resource to be utilised, but obviously the question comes now with increasing emissions and a trend away from coal use, that to make use of that coal we really need to be looking at better, cleaner technologies. So our background really started in the coal bed methane sector, and we were looking at stimulation technologies, and we came across the ARCTECH MicGAS technology and realised it had such amazing potential. Really what we're trying to do is create a bridging solution, so we still want to maintain coal use, but doing it in a better way. Obviously, taking the US shale example, there's use of gas as a bridging fuel, but there are still some questions around the environmental impact. So our focus is really about trying to use coal, but do it in a cleaner way to create gas.
Well, I tell you, it's amazing what you're doing, and of course, Australia's been a major trading partner, and we collaborate on just about anything that goes on in the planet these days. So looking at it, we're going to be getting the gentleman on from India shortly, but going on to about what you're doing out there, these coal reserves, we're looking at the map, but for the members who may not be that familiar with the continental Australia, tell us a little bit about where these are located, how far they are from major seaports, and then what are you doing as you're doing the gasification to be able to use those both within Australia, and or are you starting to export this special type of gas?
Okay, so just to put it into context, the Australian mainland is roughly equivalent to the US mainland. So, you know, it's quite a substantial landmass, and we are blessed with the large amount of coal resources, particularly around the east coast. Now, the Australian gas market's going through an unprecedented change at the moment as we're exposed to the international market. A lot of that's driven by LNG exports, and so in Queensland we're building 3 major LNG terminals, up to 6 trains, and we're trying to do a world first, which is use coal bed methane for LNG export. And what that's doing is it's putting a huge amount of stress on the domestic market, and we have a lot of issues with green groups, community groups really pushing for cleaner coal bed methane, and that's driving up the price substantially. So there is quite a significant market opportunity in that black coal. There's a huge amount of infrastructure going in, so feeding those 3 LNG terminals on the coast is a large network of pipelines and compression stations. So it does represent quite a good market opportunity if we can, get into that coal and make something of it with the MicGAS technology. I think the other thing is we are blessed with conventional gas resources down on the south of the eastern seaboard, but they're in decline. But what the south does have is very large brown coal. In fact, one of the largest brown coal resources in the world is in Victoria. And they estimate some 400 billion tonnes of coal. And some of the work we've been doing with Daman and his team has shown that coal has exceptional potential for gasification using these microbial technologies. So what we're hoping to do is really capitalise on, one, the stress in the system that's starting to emerge with this threefold increase in gas demand over the next few years. But we're also looking to, exploit these brown coals in a way that's never been done before.
I tell you, it's exciting what you're doing out there, Gary, and thank you for sharing about that. And of course, Daman has many good things to say about you and your organization. So you're definitely becoming world famous, so thank you. And just hang in there. We have Thomas Matthews, who's the president of Gasification Technology Reliance Industries. This is in Mumbai, India, and I think Thomas is coming in by phone. Thomas, are you with us?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, it's good to hear your voice, and thank you for joining us.
It's early morning in India.
Oh, I know so. I was just in almost a month in China and Taiwan, so I was going through the very same thing as we were producing the television programs from there. But tell us a little bit about your organization, the Gasification Technology Reliance Industries.
Reliance is number one private company in India. It's not very old, it's a very young company, 35 years old. It's all started by our ex-chairman, Hebei Ambani. He was, I hope people know about Reliance history. He was a clerk. He's not even a graduate. He was in a gas station accountant in Eden before World War. And then after World War, he came back to India and started a trading company. Mostly he was trading in spices. Then he started trading in nylon and polyester yarn. He established his own textile company, and there was a backward integration from textiles to refinery. That means polyester textiles, then polyester yarn, from yarn PTA, purified terephthalic acid, then paraxylene required for purified terephthalic acid, and then the refinery. He established petrochemicals, polymer plants, and ethylene naphtha crackers. Ultimately, now the last 10 years, we have established the world's largest refinery in India. A refinery has got 2 cokers making pet coke, and it is almost 18,000 tons per day pet coke. So we thought that we should make use of the pet coke, otherwise we are selling it. So the pet coke gasification plants have come up, and it is the technology from ConocoPhillips, just like the Baba's pet coke gasification plant, and the project is under construction now. And Reliance is going through a big expansion.
Well, I think all of this explains why you're the number one private company in India, and also the tremendous expansion that you've gone through over the last 30 to 40 years. And it sounds like you're utilizing the vast coal resources of India that in many cases is very low grade, but you're making a number of value-added products out of it that's really addressing the needs of India as it continues to expand its economy and its export potential as well. Dr. Dalia, do you want to go ahead and talk with Gary again?
Well, yeah, good morning, Gary, and also Thomas. Thomas, I would, if you can just briefly tell about, why you have decided to work with us on this MicGAS coal biotechnology for India. Give us a little your perspective.
If you see our energy mix for the country, we importing a lot of petroleum requirement. Almost 90% of our petroleum requirement is being imported. We have internal the energy is only from coal, but coal is currently not meeting our requirement. We are importing almost 10 to 15 million tons every year. Within the last 3 years, this has gone up. So our energy requirement is more than, it will be to the tune of 200,000 megawatt per year by 2015. So these energy requirements have to be met. But at the same time, okay, the climate change thing is also looming large in front of the government. Being a developing country, we really need energy. But at the same time, we have to look at the climate change. So various factors are affecting it. We have natural gas. Reliance has got natural gas wells in the offshore, the eastern part of the country, and we have laid out pipelines across the country to supply to various industries.
Thomas, I'm going to have to cut you off for just a quick second, and I want to get Gary and both of you back in, but we only have about 15 seconds each. Gary, what do you see for the future of your organization as you move forward towards 2050? And then Thomas, the same thing, but we got about 15 seconds each, and we have to be out. Gary? Okay,
I think for us it's really initially focusing on the coal bed methane market here, and then secondly our brown coal resources, and then I think expansion into other geographies where there's similar market conditions and environmental standards.
Thomas, you got about 5 seconds.
Yeah, Daman's this ARCTECH technology
as we create the Emerald Planet.
Osama bin Laden calls getting nuclear weapons a religious duty.
Today, materials that can be used to make nuclear weapons are stored in more than 40 countries.
Sometimes protected by just a chain-link fence.
Yet not enough is being done to lock down these materials
before terrorists steal them.
Why did we learn all this?
My mother.
My son.
My sister-in-law.
Were all murdered September 11th.
Help protect America.
Together we can.
Please join us.
The stem cell issue is being debated throughout the country. Truth is, most everyone has an opinion, even if they don't know the facts.
Let's stop arguing and start really understanding the potential of stem cell research.
For us and for millions of Americans living with disabilities, get the facts.
Call 1-877-842-3442 for free information from the Stem Cell Research Foundation. That's 1-877-842-3442.
Following the tragic events of September 11th, there have been hundreds of violent attacks against innocent Americans.
Remember what that flag you're waving stands for.
Remember, please stop the hate.
We're stronger when we are united.
Remember what that flag you're waving stands for.
One nation, under God.
Indivisible.
With liberty.
And justice.
For all. In America, there's either room for everyone, or it's not America.
Don't pick the wrong fight.
Let's keep America land of the free.
Stop the hate.
Planning a home renovation? Put this at the top of your to-do list. Because after 10 years, none of you are protected against tetanus and another potentially fatal disease, diphtheria. A minor injury, such as a cut or a scrape, can put you at risk for a tetanus infection. And while safety gear offers some protection, An up-to-date vaccination called the TD booster is the best insurance against tetanus. So get the TD booster. If it's been 10, do it again.
We're back to the Inside Scoop Emerald Planet. Here again, your host, Dr. Sam.
Hello and welcome to the Emerald Planet as we come to you from Washington, D.C. in the United States as we're looking around the globe in 144 different nations looking for those 1,000 best practices that are making a difference as we move through the 21st century. And of course, we're really focused on the people that are bringing change, looking at technology, collaboration, and innovation as we take old resources that have been used for the last several hundred years in the Industrial Revolution and moving them into really the biotech and the nanotech aspects of the world's markets. And as we're doing that, dealing with the world's markets is how we're going to be able to provide everything that's needed for the 2 billion new people that will be joining us by 2050. We have a gentleman who's working on this in one of the really fast-growing, very dynamic societies on the planet, the country of Egypt. This is Dr. Saad. He's the professor of horticulture at the Institute of Horticulture and Agriculture in the Ministry of Agriculture, and also he has his own Egyptian-American company. Both of these are in Cairo, Egypt. He's going to be coming in by Skype, but I understand that we'll have his voice. We do have his photograph that you'll be able to see on this. And of course, right beside me is Dr. Daman S.Walia, who is the president and CEO of ARCTECH Inc., headquartered in Washington, D.C. So, Dr. Saad, welcome to the Emerald Planet TV.
Yeah, hi, okay, thank you.
We're very glad to have you here. Tell us a little bit about your organization, the Egyptian American Company, and then also as your work as a professor of horticulture at the Institute, which is part of the Ministry of Agriculture.
Okay, I have been working in Horticulture Research Institute, Agricultural Research Center that belongs to the Ministry of Agriculture since 1966 until now. My work in this institute is on research, extension, and training, focusing on the natural problems in Egypt, such as clean agriculture, soil and water salinity, using some natural substance like ARCTECH to solve many of agriculture problems in Egypt. So this is about my work in Horticulture Research Institute. We also established the Egyptian American Company for Investment and Agriculture Development in 2003 to commercially sell the ARCTECH product in Egypt to solve many of problems of agriculture that facing the sector of agriculture in Egypt.
Now tell us a little bit about, for the viewers, because we're going global with the television broadcast, a little bit about the state of agriculture in Egypt, the population pressures, and then also maybe any insights as far as how you're using this new material, not only to boost the value of the soil and the nutrients in the produce, grains, fruits and vegetables, but also maybe to address water quality at the same time.
Okay. Okay, in the last 10 years, we reclaimed about 1 million acres in the desert area using a new irrigation system like drip irrigation system, sprinklers irrigation, and pivot system. In addition, we are moving towards more clean agriculture practices by following the European standards like Europe Good Agriculture Practice with the traceability system. So the government of Egypt has a plan to reclaim about 4 million acres in the next 4 years in the new desert area. We started already the first 1 million acre this year.
That's absolutely incredible. And looking at the population pressure, give the audience some idea of the current population base and what are you seeing, say, between now and 2050 in Egypt?
Okay. Now we are almost in Egypt 80 million people in Egypt or something or more than. I didn't know the exact number, but about 80 or 85 millions now in Egypt.
Now, is the population still growing at a rapid rate as it was in the past years?
Yeah, it is still growing in a rapid or more fast than the last years. I think about 1 or 2 millions every year.
My goodness! So that's why you need to add these some 5 million acres of new agricultural land into production then.
Yeah, so the only solution we have go to the new desert area because the agricultural land is very limited in all the valley like the Delta and the valley in Upper Egypt. It is almost about 6.5 million acre, and it is not sufficient to be enough with the 80 or something like that million people. So the only solution we should go to the new area in the desert to solve the problem of the foods in Egypt on the whole world.
Well, it's impressive what you're doing, and you're saying you're doing about 1 million acres a year, so that's absolutely incredible development. Yeah. It boggles the mind that you could be doing 1 million acres. That's a lot of land. Daman, would you like to go ahead and ask the next question, please?
Well, yeah, Dr. Saad, good evening, and
good evening, Daman.
Yeah, you've been really doing a phenomenal work, with the Actosol product we've been shipping from here. So just kind of, share your perspective and your experience, what it has done, and where do you see it's going?
Okay, Daman, thank you. So the organic matter is one of the most important components in agriculture, especially in the desert area. So traditional organic fertilizers can be contained unwanted material such as weed seeds, pathogens, insects. Our research in the last 10 years shows that Actosol is a valuable substitute to traditional organic fertilizers. Actosol, some results or the results indicated that Actosol increased the crop yield from 10 to 50% and enhance the crop quality such as taste, color, size, texture, and storability. Storability, that means the fruits and the vegetable can stay more than 1 week in the storage or in the market more than the normal time of these crops. So Actosol also increase the plant resistance to the soil-borne disease that attack all of the plant, all of the root system of the plant, such as wilt disease, root rot disease, brown rot disease, and nematodes. These disease led to decrease the yield of the plant up to 50% or more. So ARCTECH can help in this area to increase the resistance of the plant to this disease.
Well, those are actually excellent results.
So
Okay, go ahead.
ARCTECH also can help reducing the chemical fertilizers up to 50%. This is a very important issue in our agriculture in Egypt, because the chemical fertilizers, there are a shortage of chemical fertilizers, about 50% of what the growers need. So ARCTECH can help in this issue to reduce the uses of chemical fertilizers, mainly nitrogen fertilizers, up to 50%. Also, ARCTECH can reduce water use up to 20%. In addition, ARCTECH is made from natural materials and it's free from weed seeds, pathogen, and insects. And this point is very important to increase the production and to lower the cost of production in the agriculture in Egypt.
Dr. Saad, that's really a good summary of the change that you've seen and the impact, the positive impact, we should say, on the agriculture in Egypt, which again is a very dynamic country. It's important to the Middle East and certainly important to the world. We thank you for your work in agriculture and horticulture there in that very important country. We have about 1 minute left. Tell us a little bit about the future of agriculture in Egypt. What do you see? And sir, we have about 1 minute. Oh, wait a minute. We have less than that. We only have about 15 or 20 seconds. Sorry about that.
It is very limited. It is very limited time.
Yes.
The future of agriculture in Egypt, the big companies are now moving towards clean agriculture practice by limiting the use of chemical fertilizers as much as possible. Much care is given to the soil through careful selection of organic fertilizers to avoid soil contamination.
And thank you, Dr. Saad, as we bring you the Emerald Planet.
This is firstgov.gov, where we're obsessed with getting you government information.
Brand new student loan applications on the site, baby. The calls for a celebration. Where's your uncle?
So in the end, it was either take the astronaut gig or come work here. What can I say? Duty called.
Dude, that's my cop.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. No, I'm pretty sure that's Sam's cop.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. No. Sam's. No.
Just log on or email us and get what you need.
C, change of address form. That's how it's done. D, driver's license renewal.
E, emailing social security information.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Nice, we'll allow it. All right, Ed. What are those?
Government surplus cars for auction.
You posted those online last time.
No, you did.
I'm posting them online this time!
For all your government information, firstgov.gov.
Oh, what have we got here? Sometimes you feel tired. You can't seem to lose those extra pounds off your midsection. And your joints hurt when you take the stairs. Well, you're getting older. But I'm happy to say that there's some simple things we can do to keep you happy and healthy for years to come. We can also lower your risk for some serious diseases the older population is often subject to. Proper nutrition is more important than ever. Your body has changed, you know. Not as many treats. A basic exercise plan, lots of walks and fresh air, and most importantly, come and see me for twice-yearly checkups to help ensure the best possible quality of life. Now, how does that sound? Good boy.
Improve the quality of life for your elderly pet. Schedule twice yearly checkups that include preventive care and regular lab work. A message from the veterinary members of the American Animal Hospital Association.
We're back to the Inside Scoop Emerald Planet. Here again, your host, Dr. Sam.
Hello and welcome to the Emerald Planet TV as we come to you from Washington, D.C. on a weekly basis, looking around the globe in 144 different nations, looking for those 1,000 best practices, the technologies, the services, and the products that are needed as we move through the 21st century. I'm the President, Executive Director of Emerald Planet and Director of Host of Emerald Planet TV. And we're going around the globe looking for these best practices. And we actually are bringing a variety of people in through this next show that we're doing right now. And so we're going to be highlighting, actually with Dr. S.Walia with us, India, also China, and as we say in downtown Virginia, we have a gentleman farmer here that's going to be coming on. So we have Bryan Staddleman, who is the Managing Director of the Xianghe BH Fertilizer Company in Xianghe County in Hebei Province in China. We have Robert Lawson, who is the owner of Lawson Farms in Gordonsville, Virginia. And then again, introduce our special friend and good guest, as always, Dr. Daman S.Walia, who's the President and CEO of ARCTECH Inc. So Bryan and Robert, welcome to the Emerald Planet TV.
Thank you. Good to be here.
Okay, glad to have you. Bryan, I'm going to go to you first if you don't mind, sir, since you're coming the longest distance. Tell us a little bit about your company and why would you set up in Hebei Province, which I was actually next to just last week, and have some understanding of that area where you're located. Why China?
Well, the head office decided to go into China. We saw the privatization of fertilizer come to China and privatization of really agriculture. And we created a organic, inorganic product that had a humic acid base to it. It's a granular product, and we decided that we thought it was a good match. We were interested in China. This was back in 2005, and it was at the tip of the tongue for everyone in the know. And we saw the privatization of agriculture, and this product, which was going to be good for the soil. And the current back then they were all using a chemical compound fertilizer, which was really reaping the soil out of a lot of the organic nutrients. And so we saw this as being a good fit.
So looking at the work you're doing, and I'm going to just continue on as a follow-on question for this, what has been the impact that you're seeing over these years that you've been there? And how do you think, one, privatization has really helped agriculture in China? And then how do you think these innovative projects and products are actually helping to increase both the nutrition in the soil, but also the nutrients going into the crops, the fruits and vegetables and herbs that are being created there in China?
Well, once we started with the product that we came in, and we saw the marketplace was really open to a lot of new ideas, and we saw that really improving agriculture. I literally witnessed it back from when we started in 2005, and then we moved to a powdered water-soluble fertilizer product that we're now really promoting now. And then over the last 2 years, and over the last year, we moved into liquid. And the privatization in China allowed for all this to happen by allowing all different types of new ideas to exist before it was very controlled. And so we were brought in the Actosol in particular, Dr. Damon's product, which we've been very happy with it last year. We brought it in, it came in the end of last year, and we've been using it this year to work with the water-soluble sector of the farms in China. They've gone into greenhouses with drip tapes, and they need a product that both offers a fertilizer as well as returns the humic acid product and the organic product back into the soil.
I tell you, I think this is marvelous for everyone involved because being there, besides the air quality, food security is one of the number one issues that every Chinese person you meet when you're going out to dinner or discussing what's the next meeting. Food always comes up, as you know, in China. Yes. And they're very, very sensitive to that. And this is something that I know the government has been very acutely aware of and working on. So thank you for your leadership there in China. Robert, you're with us, I believe, and you have your own farm. What's the situation in Virginia, Gordonsville specifically, but Virginia generally, as far as the soils? And how do you see this new humic product being helpful to better the soils that we have and also the produce?
Thank you for having me tonight. Well, in the Gordonsville area where I'm located, I'm pretty much the only farmer that's using a liquid fertilizer. And in the state of Virginia, there are very few farmers that are using liquid fertilizer. Some are turning around, some are seeing the light. And we attribute really that to the ag institutions that they have pushed dry fertilizer and herbicide for so many years that it's going to take a little education to get the guys to turn. And for the soil to remain productive, they're going to have to change the fertilizer plan to improve the tilth. And by using Actisol, the humic acid, we've seen as much as 5 to 25 bushels per acre increase in yields. With today's markets, that could be anywhere from 3 to 1, 10 to 1 return on your investment. And we have, we've been using humic acid now for 23 years, and I've been on a liquid program for 23 years, and it's just fantastic. I wouldn't think about going back. The soil is just a new life form, so to speak, with the earthworms, the bacteria. Everything is just is pretty much back to the basics at that point.
And so what type of increase in yield are you seeing with the this new humic treatment and using a liquid form?
Well, like I said, it was anywhere, it depends on the crop, anywhere from 5 to 25 bushels per acre, and that determines or depends on how new you are to the program. 1 to 3 years, you can be back to the soil will be at a natural state at high productivity, and there you work with whether it be soybeans, corn, cotton, sorghum, wheat, barley, rye, any of those crops. That it just depends on how long you're going to be in the program to get things back to the natural state. At that point, it's pretty much the sky's the limit.
Now, looking at it, I'm going to continue on this question. I'm going to have Dr. Walia hop in here on the question portion of this. But looking at that, through the process that Dr. Walia has, as he's explained it, it sounds like this is really, even though it's coming from a cold source, it's really an organic material. Would that allow your farm to actually have the organic label? And particularly since you're able to mediate the soil within a less period of time, because usually it's about 5 years to remediate the soil.
I was certified. I've been I was under certification for 10 years, and normally it's a 3-year period to get set up to be certified. The first year they call it in transition, so to speak, from herbicides and starting to wean the soil away. And the soil, believe it or not, I know this is a weird term to use, but it actually goes through withdrawal, just like coming off of alcohol or drugs, to come off those herbicides and commercial fertilizers. And yes, you can be certified, use this product, Actisol, and in a state or a national certification. And it's fantastic. I mean, it does so many things that... it has its place there for the organic farmer.
That's absolutely incredible, and I'm really glad to hear that. And just like what Bryan's doing in China, thank you for all the hard work and dedication and leadership you're providing for agriculture in Virginia. Damon, you want to ask the next question?
Well, yeah, Bryan, just, I really appreciate, what you're doing in China. I was so happy to come out and visit with you last year. And just tell us, what is the change which has really taken place in China from a very small farmer to now a very large production farms?
We've seen a lot of the collectivization of farming. Traditionally, farms were centered around what they call a unit of land in China is called a mu, and that's 1/6 of an acre. And a traditional Chinese farm would be 1, 2, 3, 4 mu, and so you're looking at less than an acre. And that's been very inefficient. It's inefficient in terms of fertilizer. The whole system is inefficient, and so we're seeing with a lot of the farmers moving to the city, and you're getting these large mega cities. You're having a lot of these villages start to go vacant, and there are farmers that are collectivizing, putting the farms together, as well as businessmen and government supporting to have one centrally managed farm. And now you're getting into up to maybe even 1,000 acres, 500 acres, even as 100 to 200 acres. And that's where we see it going. It's everything is much more efficient for us as certainly as a fertilizer seller. And there's it really makes that one person who's purchasing all the product for that 100-acre farm needs to be much more knowledgeable than they would be, than generally speaking, for a small farm for 1/3 of an acre.
Well, gentlemen, we're rapidly running out of time. That's always the case on Emerald Planet TV. We have more topics to discuss. So, Bryan, if you'll go first, and then Robert, if you'll wrap up for us. What do you see for the future as far as the using this nutrient that Dr. Walia has created, and how to help remediate and treat the soil to increase production and food values in the future?
Well, I was just at Robert's place, Mr. Lawson's place, and he's got an amazing soil there, and that's what I want to see coming out to China. We want to see by improving the humic matter in the soil, turning China's soil back into that dark, luscious soil that they used to have back in the day. Used to put a chopstick in the soil, they'd joke, and it would grow roots. That has changed, but we're bringing it back. The government wants to bring it back. The farmers can see it, and they want to bring it back. And so by returning that...
let Robert have the last word. Robert, what do you see? Be quick.
With my method, farmers will get that soil back in the natural state. And with the soil balanced, the crops we're growing will be loaded with nutrients. And with the nutrients there, we're consuming, we're going to be healthier.
Well, thank you.
Thank you very much, gentlemen. And thank you for being with the Emerald Planet.